You are live on YouTube. Good morning, everybody. It's Friday, the 26th of June. So it's 6/26/26. Oh, there goes. There goes Bob. Bob just left. He's gonna be right ahead of us. But we gotta turn Rosie on. Come on, Rosie. Here we go.
Connected to YouTube Livestream 2 NAS 65 UESQ.
Yes.
Connected to YouTube Livestream 2 NAS 65 UESQ.
Too nasty. Too nasty. All right, so that's on. Everything's good. Lights on.
Flag owner 1561 says hey.
Hey, Fred. Good morning. Why is it? It's kind of warm in the van. I don't. So I thought I had the air conditioner on just to get like some cool air. It's 72 degrees here in Hampstead. 5:02. Lights on. Seatbelts on. Let's get out there and pursue some happiness. What's going on, Fred? How are you doing on this Friday morning? I feel like somebody moved the seat. I guess they did. They don't usually move the seat. Maybe it's normal.
Flag owner 1561 says morning. Fred Wag owner 1561 says doing good.
Good. That's a double good. All right, here we go.
Flag owner 1561 says just woke up.
I woke up a long time ago. I had a weird night again. I mean, it's good. I feel fine. But yeah, I've been up for a long time. But welcome to Friday. Your conscious self. It's early. Still early. I don't think the sun has risen yet. Well, it's only 5 o'clock. I guess I'm a little early. A little early. Got my coffee.
Flag owner 1561 says how long of a day do you have today?
Well, it is one of the days that I stay at the bakery for a little while, so I'll probably be at the bakery until, the live stream and the ride is 2 deliveries. We've got 2 deliveries, which will probably take an hour and a half to 2 hours, but then I'll be at the bakery until probably 12 maybe, 12 or 1 o'clock, somewhere in that range. We've got Lenny's and WhatADay. So our deliveries are pretty normal today. They're normal too. But yesterday I went downtown to Baltimore because the tall ships are in town. And it was incredible. I had a really good time. I walked around. I took some video. So I'm putting that together. I got to do it. I want to finish that up this afternoon and get it published. Because it was really neat. There are a lot of ships down there, these tall ships. And the Blue Angels were practicing. Now, I don't think they were actually practicing yesterday. I think they're practicing today. But they were in the sky, I think, just trying to get sort of a feel for the territory. And that was cool, seeing them flying around in the city. So I got some footage of that as well. So,
Flag owner 1561 says donut and coffee or milk sounds good for breakfast. I live about a quarter from a bakery.
well, there you go. That is the breakfast of champions.
Flag owner 1561 says would love to see the Blue Angels.
Yeah, they're gonna be in Baltimore for the next 3 days. So today they're supposed to be practicing, and then tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday, they have shows. And what's weird is I don't know how that's going to work because it says the shows are from noon to 4. So it can't be a 4-hour long air show. Like I can't imagine that. So I guess they're just going to be periodically flying around. I don't know how that's going to work. I'm kind of curious. They have this radio or like internet radio channel that you can listen to when they're flying. So I'm going to see if that's active this afternoon. If it is, I'm going to listen to see what's going on. Because that was pretty neat yesterday. I guess I haven't seen them since 2012. It's basically Baltimore had the same kind of thing. All the tall ships came in, and the Blue Angels flew around in June of 2012 because it was the 200-year anniversary of the War of 1812. So it was a big Star-Spangled Banner, War of 1812 celebration. And they had basically, it was the same kind of thing. It was a whole lot of tall ships and the air show. And back in 2012, I went to Fort McHenry because that's like the prime spot. And these people are eager to get ahead of me. I went to Fort McHenry because that's like the prime spot to view the air show. I don't know if I'm going to go down there over the weekend or not. I got to
Flag
see.
owner 1561 says I live close to Scott Air Force Base and may have been there before.
Yeah, it's pretty neat, especially when they're doing, like yesterday they were just flying around, but when they're coming in with like in their formations and they fly upside down, they do all that kind of stuff. It's pretty neat. And the noise. It's pretty spectacular stuff.
Flag owner 1561 says I love it when they break the sound barrier.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know if is that what I'm hearing? There is kind of a boom noise. I mean, their engines are loud enough, but then there is an extra noise every now and then. It's impressive when they make that, I think they call it the missing man. Is it called Missing Man? You know the formation where they come in? It's like 4 or 5 of them flying together.
Flag owner 1561 says that's at the boom.
Yeah. Yeah, the sonic boom. But you know the maneuver where they come flying in, like 4 or 5 of them are together, and one of them shoots directly up, like it turns and goes straight up. Is that called missing man? Something. Anyway, I like that. That's always impressive when they do that. And very loud. See, that's the thing. They're very hard, especially if you're not at a show. This wasn't really a show. They were just practicing, so you never really knew where they were going to be, what direction they were going to be coming from. And the sound was
Flag
kind
owner
of...
1561 says the formations are cool.
Yeah. The sound was kind of bouncing off of the buildings. So it made it very difficult to tell which direction they were coming from. Like you could hear them coming, but you didn't know where they were coming from. And the sound is always considerably far behind where the plane is. So it wasn't easy to capture footage of them because you had to like catch up to where they were when they came flying through. It's very neat. It looked like there are going to be several different flight groups, like the Blue Angels, but there were on the website there were other groups as well that are going to be in the air show. It's so silly. A guy up there had to pass these 2 cars, but we're only a small...
Flag owner 1561 says it is called the missing man.
It is called a... Okay, good. That's what I thought. The first time I ever saw that was at Dover, at the Dover NASCAR race in the fall after 9/11. I don't know if it was the first NASCAR race after 9/11 or the second, but it was shortly after 9/11, and they had the fall race in Dover. And so for the NASCAR race, you know, they always had flyovers of some military plane, and especially at Dover because you had the Dover Air Force. So there was always a pretty good flyover. And on the race after 9/11, they did that. That was the first time I ever saw it live. hotel ships are pretty neat though too. I didn't get on any of them because I didn't know what their policies would be when filming.
Donna says morning Craig and Fred.
Hey Donna, good morning. Happy Friday. And my subway ride yesterday was very pleasant.
Donna says had a little bit of your stream yesterday. Fred Wagoner 1561 says my uncle was in the Air Force and he took us to what is now called the GYS Grissom Museum and he let us go in the cockpit of a fighter.
Wow, that's cool. That would be pretty cool. Donna, I'm glad you said that because I was starting to think this morning that I thought I was going crazy. I knew I did a live stream yesterday. So what I did yesterday was I got downtown and then I took some footage of the ships and stuff like that. And then as I was going across town, then the planes started, they started doing the air. They weren't doing an air show, but the Blue Angels started flying around in the
Wagoner
city.
1561 says jet and let us see what it looked like.
And so I did that. I walked over there, and then I figured on the way back I would do the live stream. So I set up the live stream. It was a little quirky when I started it, but it's not out there. The replay of my live stream isn't on my channel anywhere. Like, I didn't delete it. I don't know where it went. This morning I was looking, I was like, oh, let me see if it's done processing. So I went into my YouTube channel and that live stream is not there. It's the weirdest thing. At least I didn't see it. But I do have a whole video that I'm going to put out later today with all the film that I took while I was down there. But I don't know what happened to the live stream.
Donna says I know I was going to ask you because I wanted to watch the whole thing.
I know, I don't know what happened to it. It's kind of bummed out. I mean, the good thing is I've got everything that was in that live stream, that we were looking at. Actually, it was even better that when I took the film, there was a little more activity on some of the ships. So the video that I upload today will be just as good as seeing the live stream. But I have no idea what happened to that live stream. It was a great day downtown. I mean, the weather was perfect. The city was, it was nice walking around downtown. It reminded me of the old days in the city. My subway ride was pleasant. It was just so it was so different than what was it? Was it a week ago or 2 weeks ago when I was down there last? And the timing worked out pretty well. Like I had filmed most of the ships and that I could. There were still a couple ships that were coming in yesterday. So it really officially doesn't start until today anyway. But they were getting everything set up yesterday, and most of the ships were there. But I'd walked around and I'd seen those ships, and then I sat down for like, I think I sat down for like 15 or 20 minutes, and I let my camera, or the phone that I was using as a camera, I let that charge up a little bit. So I kind of sat under a tree for a while. That was nice. And then as soon as I headed over toward the other part of town, that's when the planes started flying above. So it was like the timing was perfect. I already saw the ships that I wanted to see, and then the planes started. So I hung around for that. They were flying around for about an hour. I guess that started a little after 12. And they were flying around, I think, for almost an hour. Off and on. And then when that was finished trying to record them, then I turned the live stream on because I was going to walk back to the subway. So it kind of all worked out pretty good timing wise. And this morning I'm like, I did do a live stream, right? Because I was thinking, I know there were people talking to me on the live stream, so I know it happened. It's kind of funny.
Donna says it was a private thumbnail. I think IR just your logo if that matters.
It was right. It was because when I started that live stream, it wasn't a scheduled live stream, so I didn't have a thumbnail. So yeah, that sounds right. See, that's what I was expecting to see. I don't know. Very strange. It's very strange. The only thing, I mean, I was thinking maybe something glitched and I won't see it until they're finished processing it, maybe. But I think that I still should have seen it this morning. I think. I don't know. It was kind of funny though. I've got this. It doesn't happen to me a lot, but like, so I was downtown. I worked my way over to the east side of Baltimore, which is where the newer buildings are. Really, basically, all of the businesses in Baltimore, the big offices, T. Rowe Price, all of the big companies, have moved their offices over to East Baltimore. That's why Baltimore downtown seems very, like a ghost town to some degree. But it's because everything's just shifted over to the east, where they've built all these new office buildings and stuff. So that's where I was while I was watching them practice the air show. And so people were coming out of the office and standing there, watching, because it was lunch hour also. But I was like, wow, this like used to be me. It was one of those moments where I'm like, yeah, now I really do realize I'm retired. And here are all these people that are like standing around. I heard them talking, It was so weird. I heard him say, like there were some ladies standing behind me at one point. She was saying, well, yeah, and I have to send blah, 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 an email, and I have to do this. And I tried to finish that report. And I'm listening to all this, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, like that was me for so many years, and they're still doing it. It's like, that's just the way it is. But it's just funny when you're not in that world anymore, to be standing there like with all these people around me that had just walked out of that world. Like there it was right there. It was kind of surreal. I guess that's the right use of the word surreal.
Donna says, yes, I know what you mean.
And I'm like, it's a weird feeling, isn't it? It's kind of like every now and then it strikes me as just kind of weird. Like I don't feel like I'm old enough to be retired, but I am. But it's just weird. It's a weird feeling.
Donna says one of my good friends has not retired.
Oh yeah, so you've got like a constant connection to it. That's true.
Flag owner 1561 says very different being on this side of that world, isn't it? Now Donna says that I like hearing about her job.
It is. And I liked it. Like I didn't I didn't mind working. Like I liked what I was doing and all that. But it is really different seeing it from the other perspective. And I'm standing there thinking like, wow, I kind of remember when I was one of those people and you'd see some old guy standing there. And now I'm the old guy standing over there. He's got nothing better to do but film up some jets. It's just, it's kind of funny. All right, let's get in there and get this. See them in there. Oh yes, I see him over there at the sink. I think sometimes. There you go. You heard me. I saw him look. This guy is always happy.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Yeah, you.
Oh, I know. I saw you over there.
With the water running. He told me.
That's what I figured.
No, he told me that somebody had it done.
Oh.
Yeah. But when the water running like that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know. Gotcha. Excuse me?
Yeah, I don't know.
I have just enough. That's all I need. All right. That there. We got a possible rollaway day, man. That tray is gonna, not the tray, the rack. I can tell it's gonna want to move today. Oh, look, they fixed the window on the van. That's good. The glass wasn't broken. It just didn't look like it was winding. Here we go. That thing just started rolling away on me. They didn't get a lot today. They've got the cookies, some Danish, and a couple of cakes. I mean, 50 cookies today. 50 chocolate top cookies. I think they only got 20 Danish. Danish. I think I also got a little bit of sunburn yesterday. You probably can't tell. But a couple of donuts and an apple fritter. I could tell, like, in the shower, like, the hot water, I could feel the hot water felt hotter when it hit the back of my neck. And I think that's from getting too much sun yesterday. Or just enough sun, depending on how you look at it. There we go. All right. We got to do the trip today. It's Friday, right? All right, thank you. The orders have been a little later recently because the. Okay. All right, have a good one. See you tomorrow.
Yes.
All right, see you tomorrow. Looks like he's training somebody. All right. Boop. Sign is still out. Len. Store. See how it does that? It doesn't quite close. Hold on. I tried to stick this to the door. I don't think the door's metal. Or at least that part of it is not metal. It doesn't work with magnets. It's metal. Just FYI. You know, it is 5:30 and the sun, I think it's going to, oh, it is going to be cloudy today. Yeah, it is. We're going to get, they were even saying we might get some showers this morning.
Donna says, I know it's different, but you are still working.
I am, yes. Well, because, so after I retired, which I mean, that's kind of a long story on how all that worked. Well, I'll go into that some other time. But after I retired, I wasn't working at all. You know, like I'm okay. Well, now I'm retired. What am I going to do? So I decided that just wasn't. That wasn't for me. I had to do something. Well, I think everybody's got to do something, like a volunteer or work or whatever. And so Janet, who I talk to all the time, said that Jennifer, her sister, who owns the bakery, was looking for somebody to help them with driving. And then sometimes, you know, they might need help with the dishes or something, you know, like I could do some of that after I drive sometimes. And I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. Because I love driving. So I'm like, yeah, and I like getting up early. So it like checked all the boxes. Everything was perfect. And it is the perfect thing for me to do. Because it gives me like every day, you know, I have something I have to do, which I kind of like. What's on the side of the road? What's on the side of the road? Is it a trash can? Nothing. Yeah, so I learned that I wasn't ready to do nothing.
Donna says, is 1 day a week off enough?
Yeah, yeah, it definitely is. Because, oh, and actually, here's a funny thing. So Jennifer and Bob, who own the bakery, they're going to be at the beach for the first week and a half of July. Like, I think from the 1st until the 10th or the 12th or something. So, anyway, there are 2 Thursdays. The next 2 Thursdays, I'm actually going to work. I'm going to drive. Because usually Bob did it on those 2 days, on those Thursdays, those 2. But anyway, so for the next 2 weeks, I'll be working 7 days a week. But it's almost like Monday through Thursday doesn't really feel like a work day to me because I get home so early, you know. So I don't feel like I worked those days. By about, 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, all right, I'm ready to do something else now. But on the days when I stay and I help them and I'm like do dishes and stuff, those days I'm pretty tired by the time I get home. Like if I get home at like 1 or 2 o'clock, then yeah, I feel like I put a full day in. But the other days don't really feel like a whole day of work. Well, because technically they're not a whole day of work. I was thinking about this yesterday, especially after my experience being among the working. I was thinking I should do a video about what it's like when you retire, what you should think about, or what. I don't think I would do anything different.
Donna says, the nice thing about my church is that there are lots of things they need help with.
Yeah, well, see, that's just it. I mean, there's a lot of volunteer stuff you can do. Exactly. I think it's great. Speaking of a weird retirement story, many, many, many years ago, like I was very young and I was working for this lady. She was the manager over our department, or actually several departments. And she was helping me. I would consider her a mentor. And we were working together. She was a great lady, super nice. And she decided, I think she was at the time, I was probably in my late 20s. And she was probably like in her late 30s, maybe 40. I don't know if she was 40. But anyway, so she decides, and she was married. She and her husband he was a lawyer, so she was fine. And she decides she wanted to retire. And everybody thought it was really crazy. This is a weird story. I'm warning you now. It's kind of weird. So she retires, and she's helping with her church. She got very, very involved with the church. I still stayed in touch with her. And actually, my mom, at the time, my mom was alive, and she worked at this company also and knew her. So sometimes the three of us would get together and go to dinner and stuff. But anyway, so she's retired, having a great time, doing all this charity work. And she had like she had four children. But she's out with her husband one morning. They're walking the dogs or running. I don't know if they were walking or running, but they were, walking along the side of the road. And a car came along and hit them, or hit her. Didn't really hit them, hit her. And she died. And the reason I say that is, I tell the story is because, like, how, that's awful. That was awful, completely awful. But how amazing was it that she got the opportunity to retire and do, exactly what she wanted to do. I mean, she was happy working. She was very successful. She was doing a good job. But she really felt this calling to kind of become a volunteer at the church and get really involved. And that's what she did. And, if she had kept saying, I'll wait, do that when I retire. Well, she decided she was going to retire early, and kind of amazing. Her name was Susan Holter. Why that car's pulling over there like that?
Donna says, I have a selfish reason.
You have a selfish reason for retiring? What are these people doing? It's weird. Something weird going down there. What do you mean you have a selfish reason?
Donna says, I want people to have something to say about me at my funeral.
Yeah. That is kind of funny. Well, that's not really a selfish reason. That is an interesting idea, though. Like trying to picture what your funeral is going to be like. I think it would be fun. I could see myself doing this too. I think I am going to do it. And you really should do it. If I have this idea, what I really should be doing is having one ready at any time, because you never know. But I want to create a video that I want them to play at my funeral, like where I'm talking to everybody, like I'm, and then this is how I feel about this and this. All good stuff. I'm not going to be like yelling at people. It would all be positive, but I want it. I guess that would be weird, but I'm okay with weird. I think it would be kind of interesting. Sort of like give my own eulogy.
Donna says there is a movie called Last Word that is about that.
Oh, really? Did he do it? I never heard of that movie. I'm gonna have to watch that movie, because I've had this idea for a long time, and I realize what's going to happen is when I do finally die, like moments before I die, I'm going to be like, oh, I didn't make that video. I can't believe I didn't make that video. They might be my last words. I can't believe I didn't make that video.
Flag owner 1561 says I know somebody that their own funeral.
Oh, so they recorded a song? That's a good idea. I think that's a good idea. I'm so unready to die though. You know, like I'm just not ready. I don't have any stuff together. I really don't have a good will. Like all the stuff that you should do to prepare, I haven't done it. And it's not like I haven't had a couple. I've had a couple close calls, so like I should be fully aware of the fact that you could die any minute. But
Donna says no, it's about a woman who wants to have an obituary writer write her obit now.
oh, okay. I mean, the thing is, you really would have to like periodically update it. You know what I mean? Like I could make a video now of what I would want to say to a group of people if I just died. But that's probably not the same thing I'm going to want to say, you know, 5 years from now.
Donna says just watch the first 10 minutes. So funny.
I am going to watch that movie.
Flag owner 1561 says actually, what happened was she sang at church on a Sunday night and for some reason, the pastor said let's record this song and that's what they played at her funeral.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Donna says Shirley MacLaine.
Sure. Yeah. I'm going to look that up. I saw a movie one time, and I think the name of it was Sliding Doors or something like that. I wish I could remember the name, but it was a very interesting concept. It was seeing a person's life if one thing didn't happen. So in other words, I think it starts out and they're somewhere in the early part of the movie, they miss a train, right? So I think that's where sliding doors, because the doors of the train close and they don't make the train. I think that's how this was years ago. I think it's called Sliding Doors. I'm gonna have to look it up. But the neat thing about the movie was it was what that person's life would be like if they made the train. Like one set of scenes is if they made the train, and then there is if they didn't. And of course, I don't remember all the details, like what happened on the train. But I always like the idea that any one little thing that happens to you, you know, like your life, it's the whole idea of having choices, right? That any choice you make has effects on the rest of your life, even little ones. But I found it very interesting. I think now that I think about it, and I might be mixing up movies in my head here, but this movie might have been a case where, like, in the life where this person made the train, and I don't remember if it was the male or the female, but if the person who made the train and got home earlier than expected, walked in, found, you know, that the person they were in a relationship with was with somebody else. I think that might be what happened. I think either that or I'm writing a whole new story right here, live on this live stream. And then the other example is they didn't make the train, so they were a little later getting home, so they didn't find out. You know what I mean? But like that little tiny bit of time basically changed everything. I don't know. Go over there, go over there, you go. Now I'm trying to figure out why that movie popped in my head when I was just thinking about making a movie about my death.
Donna says, do you have Canopy?
Do I have Canopy? No. What's Canopy?
Now Donna says the movie streaming.
Movie stream. Is Canopy what you would see a movie on? Like, is that a source? Or is Canopy the movie?
Donna says, how do you stream movies? Yes.
I have a Netflix account that I turn on and off. I have Amazon that is always on. I'm not a regular subscriber to Netflix, so I only subscribe for a month every now and then because some movies on there, but I don't pay that. I don't have that open all the time. But Amazon I do. The only thing about Amazon is you still have to pay for the movies. But that's sort of they're the two that I use the most for movies.
Donna says Canopy is through library, movie streaming.
Oh, really? Are they free? Or is it like, is that just the service, but you pay to watch?
Donna says yes, free.
That's nice. I'll have to check that out because I try to avoid as many monthly fees as possible. You know, because they just pile up before you know it. You know, you've got Netflix and Amazon and Hulu or whatever else is out there. Sirius, satellite radio, I got that.
Donna says if you go on library website, they may have it.
Yeah, I'm going to check that out. I haven't sat down and watched a movie for a long time. And I haven't gone to the movies, like in a movie theater. I haven't gone to the movies for probably 10 years. That sounds ridiculous, but it's true. Well, maybe slightly less than 10 years. I don't remember the last movie I went to see that at a theater.
Frog owner 1561 says I've got the MLB network so I can watch the Cardinals. Now Donna says no, I understand. Tried to watch a free movie and only got through first 20 minutes.
Well, is the MLB? See, that's what I mean. It gets crazy. Like right now, I have. Well, I don't have Netflix, so I have Amazon. But I think that's just all I have for that is whatever I pay for the to be a Prime for the deliveries and stuff. Got YouTube. I paid for the YouTube Premium to avoid commercials. I couldn't take the commercials anymore on YouTube, so I turned that into Premium. And then even like, you know, you get your cable, you get your phone. I mean, pretty soon all these monthly charges get out of control, and you lose track of how many you have. Like I have to sit down once a year and just go over my statements and see exactly what I'm paying for, because sometimes it gets ridiculous. I guess we're early today. They're not coming. They don't know I'm here. Oh, and I got a second phone line because the streaming. That's another thing. It is crazy. Let's call WhatADay. It's just something you really have to manage. You know, I mean, as long as you manage it properly, you're fine. But it can get out of control fast. All right, they're probably coming. I'm going to hang up because they don't pick up the phone. The next thing you know, the door will open. There she is. crappy. Guy drive through. Is he going to get a donut? That's the question. Listen carefully and see what he says. Trying to eavesdrop. I think he's getting like a breakfast sandwich. First tray of donuts. Look, the cronuts are on the same tray with the donuts. Oh, look. Maybe I should open the thing before I get tricky here. There we go. All right. Let's get at it. He didn't get a donut. Not that I'm aware of. All right, so we got donuts, cronuts are living together. That's craziness. More donuts. What do we have today? 114 donuts will be passing by for your viewing pleasure. It's like a parade of donuts. Here we've got the chocolate and the, here we go, watch. I like this. It's the donut parade. See, you'll see them there. And here they come. Woo! Watch, I'm going to drop one of these trays one day. And you're going to say, that's what you get, Craig. Woo! Here we go. Last one. Glazed. Couple of Butterfingers. Now we have 6 cinnamon buns and 6 large Danish. And last but not least, what do we have here? 4 times 5. We have 20 mini Danish. They're coming in. This ride is like, whoa. And that's it. Let's take them in. Good morning. How are you? Good. All right. Have a good one. All right. I think she called that guy Steve. See, I'm very observant. There's a guy that's in there every day, sitting by the window. He just went over to his seat. So I'll try to go by very slowly. And I'll show you who I'm talking about. He sits there every single day. Gets his coffee. And he sits at that front window every day. And I believe I heard her call him Steve. This is all information that you'll probably have no use for, but just store it away just in case. Steve. How am I going to remember that? Steve.
Donna says, I think a video called Donut Parade would get a lot of views. People would be curious.
They would. Maybe I should make a short out of that. Just call it Donut. Yeah, I could make a short out of it. I'll clip it up. And then the donuts will just go by. I wonder if that'll work. I like that idea. It's simple, simple for me to do. All right, here we go. That's it. Do I need to get gas? Yeah, I don't think we need gas today. I can get gas tomorrow. All right, here we go. Oh, I was going to take you down. All right, so I'm going to hold you over this way. All right, so now watch when we get there. Hold on. Try to be less obvious about it. There's their drive-through window. All right, now Steve is going to be sitting at the window on the right. There he is. See him? Sitting in there. Did you see him? He's drinking his coffee. That's Steve. Every day, loyal customer. So now the next time I like making a delivery and I'm chatting with her, I can say, that guy that's here every day, is his name Steve? She'll say, yeah, why, do you know him? I'll see now. See, this is the way my mind works. Right now, I'm trying to figure out, all right, if I'm trying to picture myself creating the Donut Parade short, I got to come up with a clever song. That's the fun part. I love trying to find the right song. So I got to find the right song, and then I've got to clip it so that I get the donuts just passing by. And then I can do that so that they just keep going. And then if that doesn't take up enough time, because I like my shorts to be at least 30 seconds long. They have to be between 30 seconds and 60 seconds. That's the perfect short for me. So if it turns out to be I only have 20 seconds worth of donuts going across the screen, then I go in and I slow them down a little bit so that they just don't go by quite as fast. So it's definitely doable. I already used one donut song, so I'm going to have to go with a parade theme song. I love a parade. Blah, blah, blah. Not a song. Something about a parade. Because I think I have a short out there where I'm taking the donuts out of the van and putting them in the rack, and it's singing something about donuts. I've got too many. Oh, I didn't tell you guys. So Wednesday, after I made my deliveries on Wednesday, I borrowed the van for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. I took the van back over to this. It's a parking lot. It used to be a school. The school is no longer an active school, but it's just a parking lot with like some nice scenery around it. So I thought, well, that's good. So I was gonna try to finish up the content that I need for my video about setting up my live stream every morning. And it was a very challenging thing. I don't know how to explain it. I was trying to explain things without going off on a separate discussion. Like I was trying to say, all right, this is what I do when I get in the van. This is how I set up every morning. But I ended up, like I would say something about Starlink or something about the text-to-speech or something. Like I couldn't stop myself from veering off in a direction I didn't want to go in. Like that's going to be another video. But I wanted to because this video, I wanted it to be less than 10 minutes long, like really closer to 5. But I couldn't do it. And I was trying. So I kept taking, I don't know how many takes. I was like constantly starting over and trying to different. But anyway, so I did all of that. And then toward the end, I wasn't done yet, but toward the end of that period, the camera, ran out of battery. I wore all the battery out of the camera. I'm like, all right, that's a sign. I just need to stop this. But that's another video I want to put out eventually. I got all these ideas. I'm thinking about just doing a video where I'm sitting down at home, like I'm just sitting there with everything in front of me, and I just sort of talk about it. Like, this is what I do. When I get in the van, here are the things that I do to set up. Because aside from putting the Starlink on top of the van, which I have a video of, that part I had that fine. But when I was sitting in the van, the lighting was all weird because the sun was coming up and the sun was angled in. So, you had very bright spots and very dark spots. So I was having difficulty with lighting. It just wasn't meant to be. That day was not meant to be a recording day for me. I tried my hardest. But I wasn't accomplishing anything really. Except for learning what not to do, which is an accomplishment. I mean, failing is not really a bad thing.
Donna says, how long does it take you to set up the van for streaming?
It takes less than 5 minutes. And that's what I was like. One of the things I wanted to say, which I would say, is when I started doing this, it was important. I thought it was important to me that it didn't interfere with my regular delivery. You know what I mean? So, like, if I'm going to make a delivery, if I'm going to get in the van and make deliveries, I didn't want to say, oh, okay, well, so now it's going to take me 15 minutes, 20 minutes every morning to get everything set up. That wasn't going to work. And, I really don't want to leave a whole lot of stuff in the van. So I basically bring everything's in my bag. And it's not a lot. I put the Starlink on top of the van. I pull out the wireless speaker, the Bluetooth speaker, put that on the dash. And then when I get in, I do that when I move the van from the parking lot to the front door where I'm going to load it up. And then when I get in that, so that only takes me 2 seconds. Like not 2 seconds, literally. It takes me 30 seconds to put the Starlink on top of the van because it's attached by magnets. So it's not like I really have to fool with anything. I just put it up. So I put that up there, and then I put the speaker on the dash. I drive over to the bakery.
Donna says, but couldn't you just narrate that?
I could. Yeah, and that's sort of my idea, is to do that. But you got to break it up and do it in little pieces because you want the camera in different spots. Like the part where I put the Starlink on top.
You did.
I didn't get that last thing you said, but I'll get there. I mean, I'll eventually accomplish it. But yeah, what you're thinking is what I want to do. I want to just make it look like, all right, here's what I'm doing. But you kind of have to have the camera in different spots for different pieces of it for it to look right. And that was starting to be more difficult. Like, actually, today would be a much better day for me to do it. I'm not gonna be able to do it today. But today would be a better day because there's no bright sunlight. I didn't think about that. But like, it's actually going to be better
Donna
to film.
says narrate as you do it.
Narrate as I do it. And that's
Donna says, I heard of a camera that follows you.
My camera does follow me. But at some point, it's outside of the van when I'm doing the Starlink. And at another point, it's inside the van. And I was having trouble inside the van on Monday or on Wednesday because of the lighting. Like, today would have been better. Inside the van would work today because there's no sun. There's no bright sun in my face. I think that was probably the worst obstacle on Wednesday, was the lighting. And my mouth. The lighting and my mouth, because I tend to ramble, which is okay sometimes, but not when you're trying to make a short video.
Donna says, but seems like it can be done.
Oh yeah, it can definitely be done. It can definitely be done. Yeah, because and then it's even simpler. So after I load the van up and I get in to drive away, before I drive away, I put the phone that I'm using for the camera on the dashboard and I turn on the speedify, plug the microphone in, and that's it. And I wasn't even going to focus a whole lot on the fact I have a third phone that I use for the music, but I wasn't even going to really talk
Donna
about
says
that.
you need a director. LOL.
I do. Yeah, I do. I do. I do. Whoever would be my director would be constantly saying, "Cut! You're rambling again, Craig. You're rambling. This isn't this film isn't about the Starlink. This film isn't about Stream Buddy. I mean, I want to here's the part that's hard for me. Like when I mention it, I want to talk more about it. And I want to mention it because I want to be able to say, and I use Stream Buddy, blah, 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 to do the text to speech. And then I do stupid stuff. I really need to I think I still have a lot of these clips. I should make a bloopers. I should make a bloopers out of it because a couple of things when I'm watching it, it cracks me up. At one point, you know how you were saying that you can have a camera set up so it follows you? Well, it is supposed to do that. This Insta 360, which is the gimbal that I have, follows me when I can give it a signal and it will follow me. And the signal, or I could just set it up that way. But what you do is if you're filming yourself, you can stand in front of the camera and put up your hand like a high five type of, with your 5 fingers up. And that indicates to the camera that you want to you want it to follow you. And it's amazing. It works really well. It'll go wherever you go, it'll follow you. So that's good. However, if you hold up 2 fingers, it tells the camera to stop recording. So when I'm talking and I'm using my hands to talk, which I do sometimes, that was happening to me a lot. Like I would start talking and I'm like explaining something and I accidentally hold up something that looks like 2 fingers or something close to 2 fingers. So I had to turn that off so that I wasn't turning off the recording. So you can say, all right, don't look at the 2 finger thing. Look at the 5 fingers, but don't look at the 2 fingers. And then one time I held up 5 fingers. I don't know why it did this. It was glitchy. But I'm standing in front of the camera and you see me just like hold up my 5 fingers, which means I wanted it to start tracking me. But it all of a sudden just tilted back and looked straight up at the sky. Like, why? I don't know what I told it to do, but it ended up looking at the sky. It's hysterical. And then there was another time I'm talking and I'm, stupid stuff. Like I'd say, all right, now this is the camera I use for my phone. Like stuff like that. Like just stupid stuff that would come out of my mouth sometimes.
Donna says funny.
Because I have to think about it. Like to say, I have to think about it. It's the phone I use for my camera or the phone that I use for the text to speech. I finally have gotten to the point where I think I consistently say text to speech. I used to get that backwards too. I used to say speech to text or voice to text or something. I always wanted to say something different. Maybe after I get the real video out, then I'll put out the bloopers.
Donna says I keep saying, Alexis, wondering why Alexa won't answer.
That's true. Well, I'm not going to say it. I fortunately don't have that in my house. But I do occasionally say the word hey and then the word Google. You know, if you say that, it wakes up your phone and you can ask your phone a question. But what is cracking me up now is I usually have 3 Android phones that are turned on. Either one of them's in my backpack, one of them's in my pocket, the other one might be getting to, but they're somewhere, and if they're close enough, they all hear me say that. So like if I say the word hey and then the word Google together with all these phones around me, they all try to pick up what it is that I'm going to ask. And then they all come up with, I've had cases where like I get a couple answers. Always pretty much the same. I'm not saying they give you different answers, but it is pretty funny that I have to be careful what I say because I have 3 different phones listening to me. AJ used to think that I was calling him when I said that too. When I would say, hey, blah, 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 he would come right. He would come like I just called his name or something. I think he thought his name was Google. Although I'd never called it Google. That would be a funny name for your dog, though. You name your dog Google. we definitely meet Bob today. So Bob left the bakery only a few minutes before we left today. He was actually pulling out when I was turning the camera on. So he went to Restaurant Depot. There is no way he's going to be back already. I think I'm gonna take him up on the eggs today. So I think when he gets back from his restaurant depot pickup, he will, because there'll be other people in there too. So like he usually tries to, I think anybody that comes into work, he'll make them like an egg sandwich or whatever. So that's what I think I'm going to have for breakfast. I am going to eat eggs this morning because I've been up. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier. I've been up since like 10 o'clock. I think I got up at 10 or 10:30. And because I fell asleep super early yesterday after I did all that walking and stuff downtown. I got home. I started to kind of play with the video, fed Jay, and then I laid down. And I think I probably slept most of the time between 4 and 10. So that's like 6 hours. That's like a good night's sleep for me. So when I got up at 10, I started playing with the video again. Like I spent a couple hours working on that last
Donna
night.
says, how early?
How early? I think 4. I think by 4 o'clock, I was pretty much laying down because I fed AJ a little bit after 3. So I think I was probably sleeping by 4 yesterday. So needless to say, when I got up at like 10:30, I was like, oh, I'm good now. I didn't want to go back to bed at 12:30 or 1 o'clock or 1:30, then I'm like, eh. So I played with that video for a while, which was fun. Here I am. So I'll be good tonight. I'll be back on my cycle tonight. I just got to make it through the afternoon. But yeah, so like I'm ready now to eat. Normally
Donna
at
says, I've been up since 3:30. Wish I could sleep later.
3:30. Yeah, 2:30 is my time. So, but yeah, 3:30 is still early. That's very early. That is very early. All righty. Well, I'm off to do some dishes, get some stuff done. But I plan on getting that video out this afternoon. I don't want it to be any later than today that I get that out. And I'm talking about the video from yesterday where I taped all the
Donna says, have a good day, Craig and
all the
everyone.
ships and stuff. So yeah, so look for that later. And yeah, I hope everybody has a great day. We're gonna have some clouds stuff today, I think. But temperatures are good. So enjoy your day. Thanks for hanging out with me. And See you again tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday, so it'll be another 5:15, bright and early. See you then. Have a great one. Bye.